celebrate today. We've got a special guest, Mike Neighbors, head coach, Arkansas women's basketball team, joining us here to talk basketball and other stuff, as always, here on Ruscin and Zach. Coach, good afternoon.
What are we celebrating? Quitting time?
Yeah, that's our 5 o'clock
good.
whistle.
Like the Flintstones.
Good, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Quitting time.
That's right.
All right, so let's start out with the most important thing today, which is you posted a video earlier of a block charge situation involving JC and Bowen. We are having a very heated debate in here. I think Bowen got there, set his feet.
I may be in the wrong now.
JC clearly not even looking. Didn't have the ball, not looking. I think it was a charge. We're going the other way. Plus, I think she should be teed up for standing over him and taunting him.
Taunting.
Oh, well, she taunted, but then she handed him a cookie. You can't tease somebody up
no.
for giving a cookie.
Hey, look, if you get teed up and then hand the ref a cookie, does the tee stand? Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I think, probably so. But here's what I want you to go back and rewatch. Barrett's response, Barrett is sitting on the island in his little seat.
Mm-hmm.
I think he obviously thinks it's a charge because there's no response. It's
right.
easy. It's an easy one.
It's an easy call.
Nobody questioned. It was an easy call.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in the wrong on this.
I felt good about this, and immediately, and JC said Bowen needs to toughen up, which I also think she should get teed up for.
Well, yeah, no, she's obviously a little bit tougher on him than I am. That's okay. He needs that in his life, but I think she's just getting some frustrations out because it was her fourth foul. Now she's going to have to sit out.
Right, she's going to have to sit. Okay, so that leads me to another question, and I texted you about this yesterday, and so we were talking about. Okay, so let's use your team as an example. You're playing, I don't know, you're playing Florida on Thursday, and let's say that Samara picks up 2 quick fouls in the first half. Why? And I'm using general. I'm not you specifically, but why will coaches not go to a zone to sort of bury a player and keep that player? Because you're more likely to get fouls in a man-to-man situation. We were talking about this with J.D. Notte on Saturday against Alabama, where he picks up the fouls and then he's got to sit for 18 minutes.
Okay. As far as going to the zone, it's probably something that team doesn't practice a lot. So I don't know why you would go to that. Now, see, I only take kids out if they're normally foul prone. Okay. Go back to 2 years ago when Chelsea got her second foul with 4 minutes into the game against Kansas State. We never even took her out. There's a lot of data and research out there that shows that you lose the game more often during that time that you set that player out than you would have if you play him up until that fourth foul. So
thank you.
You have to know each kid.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's out there. Listen, there's all kinds of research and analytics about it, but you have to know the kid. Are they prone to pick up a bunch of them in spurts? If they get 2, are they going to get the third? But I would rather play the player than go to a defense that we haven't worked on very much or is not our normal game plan. So I don't know. That's my personal reluctance is that it's putting us all now more vulnerable because we're doing something we're not as good at.
Well, Chelsea
we would have been playing it in the first place.
Chelsea's a great correlation because she was at that point. I mean, primarily your main scorer, J.D. Notte, the same way, and you gave a great explanation. But I know you guys play a lot of man. Is zone just one of those things that Jim Boeheim plays because he's 90 years old and everybody else just shies away from it?
No, listen, we went to our Washington team played predominantly zone there in 2016, run to the Final Four. It can be, in fact, I'm on the other side of this. I think zone is a lot harder to teach, a lot harder to play, it takes a lot more effort, a lot more communication. I think we ought to be teaching it at the young ages. It's all over, we should never let a 9-year-old play zone. The reason is because it's hard to teach, and most coaches don't want to teach it. It's hard because there's a million what-ifs and a million accountability factors, and I'm all for, with my teams, I want to eliminate the excuses. And when you have a zone, you got all kinds of excuses. Well, I thought. When it's man-to-man, it's pretty clear. And the accountability factor is very, very high. And I think that's why most coaches and most players, honestly, prefer it. But I think zone, you can win with zone. I mean, but it's hard to teach it. People that think it's a cop-out haven't ever had to teach it to a group of kids.
This is a lot deeper discussion sports-wise than I think we've ever had on. I like this a lot.
Oh, sorry. I do know a little bit about it. I I don't. The reason we want to talk about the other stuff is because I feel like way more of an expert on '80s music than I am on basketball.
Okay,
so
all right.
I would rather speak. I know that there are a lot of ways, a lot of things I don't know about basketball. But if you want to come at me about '80s music trivia, I'm gonna be pretty confident. So.
Okay. Last time we got to prepare a really difficult name that tune.
Yeah,
Zach.
Okay, I'll put together
we'll
a
do
name
that next
tune.
time.
Okay, last zone question.
All right.
And this is just something that I'm seeing more and more at the high school level. I don't know if it's sort of translating to college. Is this token pressure to just sort of milk time off the shot clock? Is that just a tactic now where in a 35-second shot clock you're trying to get their possession to start with about 22 seconds?
That means you've got to guard one less ball screen, two less basket cuts. No, it's a great tactic. And I think that's why we've needed to have the shot clock at the high school level is so kids can get used to having that. I don't think you see it as much at the college level because teams can isolate quicker, and I think there's a more condensed area of talent when you get to a college team. Usually in high school there's 2 or 3, maybe 4 options, so you can do a little token pressure. Get 6, 7, 8 seconds off that shot clock. That's one less ball screen. That's 2 less basket cuts or, whatever action that team's trying to run. So, yeah, I think it's a great tactic for every level, especially the younger you get.
And I think you touched on something there that sometimes you can be so concentrating on handling the ball with that pressure that you look up and all of a sudden it's at 9. It's 9 rolling to 10.
Yeah.
So you can steal a turnover that way too.
No, you can't. And force me. A bad shot is to me a bad shot. Sometimes it's better than a dead ball turnover. I would rather force an opponent to take a shot that either from a player or an area that they don't normally take, because now we can rebound it and run. If I force a turnover, that's why we don't try to get in passing lanes a lot. We'll take the ones they throw to us, but like if you just get them to throw the ball out of bounds, they get to go set their defense. But if they take a bad shot, and what shot you want them taking, now we can run.
It's funny. When you said that, I'd never really thought about it. You guys don't chase the passing lanes. You don't see a lot of, Samara jumping out in a passing lane, chasing a ball out towards midcourt. It makes perfect sense now.
Well, as long as we're keeping score by, at the end of the game, who's got the most, I think, I think you got to be aware of things like that. How can you keep them over the course of an 82-possession game from getting the highest number possible?
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So you guys have been dealing with some health issues, but still winning. Now this is all your wizardry, right?
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. Absolutely. No, it's none of my wizardry. It is all them. Being adaptable and playing new roles from a week to a week. It's really hard to do what they've done. Like asking Amber all of a sudden to become your point guard after not playing point guard since 8th grade. And doing so, she absolutely, stepped into a situation and put us on her back for 2 back-to-back games.
Has she
with
missed
Jersey
yet?
and Sam out, Mac.
Has she missed a shot recently?
Not ones that she felt good about. I can tell you that. She's had to take a few more that we probably would have liked to have had to have her take, but when you do that, you're gonna miss a few. But man, when she has been clutch. She's shooting about 85% on we need them shots. I can tell you that. Maybe 90.
It was interesting. We're talking with Mike Neighbors here on Ruscin and Zach. Your drive home, powered by Mr. Sparky. To hear you talk about how much you're enjoying being around these people, it's got to be so satisfying to see them have success with wins, but also just to go and be around these people every day. It's got to be really satisfying as a coach to be able to do that, because I figure there are coaches in all sports that aren't living that right now.
No, it's a hard time of the year. It's where you got 3 ways to go. You got teams that know their season is going to be over because they're not going to the postseason. You got some teams hopeful of it, and you got some teams that are locked in. So the thing I like best about our group is how we've handled losing. We lost a heartbreaker at Tennessee in overtime. We had a shot at regulation and at the end of overtime. they were the same team getting on that bus as the one that got on the other day against Missouri. They've really accepted the idea of play to the best that we can, and let's let the score take care of itself, and then the record will take care of itself, and then the seeding will take care of itself, and then the NCAA selection day will take care of itself. We turned this team over to them about 2 weeks ago when Mac went down. It had to become a player-led team. The coaches had to get out of the way, and it had to become player-led, and that fell on Amber's shoulder with Mac out. So we do a little talking, we do a little coaching, but we let them do a lot of the playing and a lot of the adjusting, and we're trying to listen the best that we can. And we got an important stretch coming up, but we got off to a good start with these last two.
So 8 days from now is February 23rd. You guys are planning to pack Bud Walton Arena. I know that it's 23 for 23. She's been pretty special here the last couple of games.
Yeah, she has. She, when I started looking in that record book, I kept looking down the top 25 crowds, and I was like, well, I don't remember that. Oh, I was there as a fan. Oh, I was there, as an assistant coach. But we haven't played in front of a top 25 crowd. And then that record crowd was announced for the Auburn game, which our kids were all a part of, and we went out and, threw sandwiches and gave out. I said, wait, let's get one for us. Let's get a little bit. I've not been one of those people that goes out and asks for it, on social media or does stuff, but I felt like Amber, all of our kids had deserved it. The last 2 years with COVID has given people maybe a little bit of an out for not being there, but we haven't asked for 5 years, so we're just asking for one day. Come out next Sunday. I know there's a baseball game going on. There's lots of different softball, but pop over there to Bud Walton. Help us show Amber so she can tell Chelsea and Alexis and Bailey and all these kids that missed out on it what Bud Walton feels like what it felt like for the men during that Auburn game.
No, that's good stuff right there. All right, Mike Neighbors is our guest here on Ruscin and Zach. Zach has another question.
I've got lots of questions. So you called me yesterday, and frankly, when I see your name pop up, it's terrifying. You were on the hunt yesterday for Greenwood Jesus.
Yes.
Do we have now? If you can, you're from Greenwood, and I was down there the other day, and I'm still upset that they do not have a sign for you. Now, tell us what tell us what and where we can find Greenwood Jesus.
Well, it's on the corner right there, what we used to call Suicide Curve before the road extended on down to Waldron, but it's where Spur 10 comes into 71 South there. And, I didn't know about Greenwood Jesus until you brought me up, and I saw it on y'all's website, but I was hopeful I was going to stop. I was going to get a selfie to share with you, but evidently Mondays are the day off. So that's the day of rest. Monday's the day of rest. And there was almost looked like a portable concession stand out there with the logos and stuff, but no actual Greenwood Jesus.
He was out there early, 7 o'clock in the morning, the day after the Auburn game.
Okay, well, that's all good. I don't doubt it, but not yesterday. About 1:30 when I was rolling through there.
He may take a lunch break. He's kind of an early morning, late afternoon guy.
Drive time.
Rumor is he's from Waldron.
Oh,
Waldron Jesus.
Okay, comes up 71 and uses that little interchange there.
Not sure if there's more than one either. It might be maybe like Menudo. There may be multiple members, but
you age out. Once you get 16, you got to go be Ricky Martin and you got to get on out of that.
Yeah. You kind of lose your appeal as a member of Menudo. So I really don't know.
Zach is the only person that will reference Menudo and Up With People.
You know who Up With People is, right?
Absolutely. Hey, and I will. I just might as well come on out because somebody from Greenwood's probably listening. I went through a Menudo phase. I wore the layered tank tops.
No, 100%. No, you did not.
Yes, I did. 1,000%.
Wow.
Absolutely. The layered tank tops. Preferably yellow on blue was my go-to that summer. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Have you ever reconsidered your Menudo phase?
Only for parties, not for games or anything.
Could you do it for the gram?
I don't know. That's not going very well for coaches doing stuff for the gram. I saw some bad dance videos. I saw that go downhill. So I'm just going to try to stay in my own little corner of the world.
I'm just thinking out loud here. Look, you're asking for people to come out on the 23rd. this might be a good time to bring the Menudo look back. You go
I want
mullet,
people to
spike your
come.
hair. Yeah.
No, we want people to come. If we were trying to hide our product, I might go shirtless or do something like that and keep people away. But no,
Okay.
we're trying to get people there. So,
I know that the halftime show at the Super Bowl was in your sweet spot. How was your viewing of the halftime show?
well, we were on the plane on the way home, so I had to watch it on replay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like most people in my age group. I think it's number 2 behind Prince. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure what would have to happen for Prince to ever be top, but I'd move him. I'd move that one to number 2. There was a lot of. I thought the way they pulled it off too. The best part about it was watching it, the time lapse, how it came in and how it came out, and how it set up. That was some teamwork right there.
Okay,
I thought it was.
Well, Ruscin brought up a good point yesterday, and this may have pushed it, if they had done this, may have pushed it past Prince.
Oh, no.
All of the cars that were out there in front of Dre and Snoop and Eminem, I felt like if they had gone to the hydraulics and the cars are just bouncing,
That would have been great.
That may have pushed it past Prince.
Okay.
But
well,
Prince,
that's a weird thing to point out that would have made the difference, but okay, whatever.
Prince had a cinematic quality because it's in the middle of a rainstorm.
Yeah,
You can't script that. You don't.
I'm not telling you that didn't have something to do with it. No, there's no question that there were some unforeseen things that helped. But and Prince is dead too. I mean, now
that helps
you
too.
get a little bit of that. That helps. We all nostalgically remember. But for me, still, I mean, y'all know my love for Prince, so that's obvious. So this is number 1 on my unbiased. I would say it does have the capability of topping it.
Grading it on a bell curve, it's number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you been to Paisley Park?
Many times.
Okay.
Yep. I've been. I was there within the first week of it opening. I sang into the microphone. I've got a recording of me singing. I played ping pong on his ping pong table. I got to see where he watched basketball, and I don't know if the lady was making it up, but she absolutely made my day when she said, because I was coaching at Washington at the time. So I was decked out in purple. I was there recruiting Destiny Oberg, who is now here at Arkansas.
Yeah, who's here now? Yeah, look at you.
I know. I was recruiting her at Washington, got her here. So I went. She's from Minneapolis. So I went out to Shaston, where the Paisley Park is at. And the lady said, "Wait." She goes, "Did you coach basketball at Washington?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "We watched y'all play right here. You had a girl that shot flat-footed threes," and I just about fainted. That knowing that Prince watched us play in the Final Four, that was one of the coolest things I'd ever heard. So,
can you confirm something for us? Because we carry on about this, and I want it to be true. You got Florida Thursday night. Does it still smell like a pool in that gym?
Yeah. It does. I mean, it's an auditorium, so it doesn't have any choice. But it has the temperature has decreased. That was the place where Bruce Pearl sweated through that olive-colored suit that game. Remember when that happened?
Yes, that was a Wednesday night JP game. I remember it well.
There you go.
Well, you got to. I mean, look, if you're playing in an natatorium, you've got to dress accordingly. This might be a Menudo day.
That was not his. That was somebody else's on his staff's fault for not letting him know. Because it does still. It's not as bad as it used to, because I think there's a partition now. But it used to be incredibly hot, and you had the smell of coming out of an auditorium for sure.
That's right.
That's true. That's fact.
Okay. We will continue to talk about the O'Connell Center smelling like a swimming pool.
Well,
because the men are going there too.
The men will be on their way down there. Do you guys talk about that? I mean, you're going first. I mean, you come back and say, "Dude, don't. This is a t-shirt night."
I would definitely make sure everybody was taken care of there. We don't need anybody being more sweaty than they need to be. That's never a good look.
Yeah, boy, that Bruce Pearl game. That is. I got to look up some images on that. That is. That's iconic.
Well, natatoriums are humid.
It's there.
Yeah.
My friend Sean Miller had a bad one too one day in Arizona.
Oh boy.
I hate. But you could look out. You could compare those two. Sean went through a white dress shirt.
What do you remember?
It was pretty memorable.
Do you remember the Saturday night game where Patino wore the white suit and then he changed at halftime?
Changed at halftime. Yeah, I do remember that.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you wear? You've got to wear like a pullover in there so that you don't sweat through your shirt, right?
Yeah, you certainly need to have a plan. Yeah, those, the undershirts that breathe a little bit. But
I feel like we're talking about mile high in the altitude.
That's right. You got to plan for the humidity.
for this sort of stuff.
Well, it's a real thing.
You do.
Yeah.
And you got to know if there's a hockey rink. If you're playing in a hockey arena, you got to wear thick shoes because your feet are going to freeze. That's a thing.
That's right.
It's a real thing.
See,
Life's hard on the road.
Razorbacks are the men are at Tampa for the SEC tournament. The Lightning play there. Yeah, got to have thick shoes. All right, Coach.
Got to know.
Thank you. Thursday night at Florida. Sunday hosting Kentucky at Bud Walton Arena at 1:00. Thank you so much.
You got it. You bet, guys.
Mike Neighbors with us here on Ruscin and Zach. It is chilly when they put the basketball floor over the ice.
Yeah.
It's still cold.
And you got to be careful, like in June, and then you get the fog, like they used to have at the Boston Garden.
That's right. Yeah. Well, the Boston Garden didn't have air conditioning. That's another issue there.
That was all I said is you can get fog if you're not careful.
Hey, how's my cough doing?
You've only coughed once this segment. Why is that?
My pineapple juice.
Mm-hmm. Told you. Bromelain.
First Western Bank is more than just a bank. They are your partner for all your financial services, banking, mortgage, insurance, investments. Real professionals, years of experience in each service area. They've been in Arkansas since 1910 and in Northwest Arkansas for over 30 years. Their professionals will help give you the service and expertise that only they can give you because they've been around for decades. First Western, locations in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, and online at firstwestern.com. First, exceptional financial services all in one place at First Western Bank.
Football might be over this season, but basketball is in full steam for both pros and college hoops. For all the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's promo code BLEAV. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds, right to the Olympic coverage, is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts.